Hello and welcome to episode 39. My name is Stephanie and I'm the creator behind the Crafty Dragonfly. You can find me on Instagram as Crafty Dragonfly Crochet and you can find me on here. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and watching a little bit of me on this YouTube. And if you are a new subscriber, thank you so much for checking out my video, and I hope you enjoy what I'm about to tell you today. I also have a Ko-fi account, and that's just where you can support my channel and help to buy anything that I need. I've just bought a fold-up chair. You can't see it actually. Because I was sick to death of my office chair squeaking whilst I was making videos, so I purchased that. So you can find all the links to anything I talk about below, and let's get on to it. I'm trying my hardest not to have to edit any of the video because, as I've said to you before, it does take quite a while to go through the video anyway, and to put in anything that I talk about when I point and I say, oh, I'll show you this on screen. So I'm trying to cut down as much as possible without splicing it all up and doing all things with it. Whilst I enjoy doing it, I'm filming this on Saturday. It's the 17th of February. I work during the week. I've got a full-time job. I'm lucky enough to work from home, I do have to say that. And I get to work in my lovely craft room as well, which sometimes can be a little bit distracting, to say the least. But I like to surround myself with things that make me happy, which is what you can see behind me. The eagle-eyed amongst you might notice that I'm filming from a different angle in my craft room stroke office. So I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a different view to look at. I know when I'm watching people on YouTube, whilst I'm listening to them and looking at what it is that they're showing, I am a bit nosy and I like to look round and see what's behind them. And you know, Jeanette from Crafty Clegs Creations has a wonderful, wonderful craft space. If you don't follow Jeanette, you should do. She's Crafty Clegs Creations on YouTube. I'll leave a link to her channel below. She's just, well, she makes lots of things. She's a Toft addict like me and makes lots of toys and things. So anyway, I'm digressing. I will get started. Oh, also, I, in the last video, said welcome to episode 39, and it wasn't. It was 38. Don't know why I did that. So I'll change it on the other video. You might not be bothered about that, but it'll upset me if I don't put it right. So this is definitely episode 39. So moving on, I haven't got any finished things to show you today. I know it's been a few weeks, but the projects I'm working on are quite large and detailed, so obviously I haven't finished them yet. I am quite a slow crocheter, I have to say, but I enjoy the process of crochet, not just the finishing. I enjoy starting projects. If you've been around for a while, you'll know that. And I like to buy yarn, even though I have quite a large stash going on at the moment. In fact, I've got some due today. I don't know why I'm whispering because hubby is outside. I've got some due today from Hobbycraft. Now I know I said I wasn't buying any more yarn, but I'll justify it in a little while when I show you what I'm working on. So without further ado, if you haven't got yourself a drink, put me on pause or just leave me waffling, whatever. go and grab yourselves a drink and a project to work on whilst we sit down together and go through what my progress is. So there's no rhyme or reason with the way I'm doing it. I've not thought about it, to be honest. So I'm just going to start with probably the smaller objects, and then I can get on with the others. So I have posted about this on Instagram. At Easter, we're going up to Scotland in our camper van, Wilma. Yes, we've named our camper van. So I know it's probably not going to be great weather. Not bothered about that because we love Scotland. So I thought, I've actually, the hat I always wear is a bought hat. It's not even a made one. So I just thought, you know what, I'm going to make one because why not? So I follow MJ's Off the Hook on Instagram, and she has a YouTube channel. Now, her make behind her channel is that she offers free tutorials. She has a blog, and she does offer paid for patterns for like a couple of dollars. But I came across, I like the way that she films, so, and she's very good at doing tutorials. So I thought, well, I'll have a look at this particular beanie. It's called the Chunky Ribbed Crochet Hat. Looks a bit strange at the minute. This is the bottom bit, obviously. It's a fold up hat. So you start with working this bit. There's no seams. Oh, yes there is. Yes there is. I do apologise. There is a seam, so you're working back and forth to make this ridged design. It's in like the back loops that you're working, and then you slip stitch it together. I can't even tell you where the seam is. I think it's there. So you slip stitch it together to make it look like the rest. And I honestly can't find where the seam is. So that's how good her design is. And then what you do is you join onto the bottom of the hat, and then you work up like that, and then you're working back and forth like that, and that's what makes the ridged effect on the brim. Okay, so you can see that, and then obviously that folds up like that, and then what you do then is you leave a long tail like that, and you cinch it together at the top, and then you put a pom-pom on if that's what you want. Now, I've forgotten to find the yarn. I've used this yarn before. I used it for, if I can reach it, this scarf. Oh, that I can't get off. Yes, I can. Do you remember when I made this scarf? I made it before Christmas, I think it was. It's a chunky yarn, and I can't think of the name of it, so I'll put it on the screen. But it just does its own thing, which is what I really like about variegated yarn. So this is lovely, and I do like to wear it, but I am going through the menopause, so I'm having lots of hot flushes. So if you see me going red on here, it's because I'm having a hot flush. So sadly, I can't wear this very often, or I can wear it but then I have to take it off. So I thought, because I love the yarn so much, I'll make a hat in it and hope that it comes out nice. And obviously it's different colours. Now here's the problem. you might have already noticed, but it looks quite short, this hat, to me. Now, the pattern and the yarn that MJ used, I think she used a worsted weight, so like an Aran yarn, whereas this is chunky. Now, I've used, I think I used a 5.5mm hook, or it could have even been a 6. Again, I can't remember, so I'll have to put it on screen. Just bear with me 1 second. Yeah, I can't remember the size of the hook, but I will put it on screen. So I'm not sure whether I should have gone a bit longer with the body of the hat. So that's why I've stopped, otherwise I'd have got this done and I'd have had it on my head to show you. So, I don't know whether to frog it back and just put a few more rows in. In fact, I think I probably will. And then I can definitely wear it. The pom-poms I've bought, let me just, 1 sec. My son's just come in from a hike and I have the door open. Anyway, so I've bought some pom-poms. You can see that one. So there's that one. They look quite small actually, but I think it says on them that the faux fur, but it says if you just use a cool hairdryer, they fluff up nicely. So there's that one. There's that one. Oh, there are quite a few colours I've got, because, you know, they're nice, and I'm sure I'll make more hats going forward. And there's that one, that colour. So I'm just deciding now what colour to put with the hat. That one looks quite nice, I think. My eye went straight to that when I saw it. That one, possibly. Turn it round for a darker colour. Or the light one. That one. What do you think? What do you think? Which colour? 1, 2 or 3? Ooh, I've dropped them on the floor now. I'm sure any of them will look nice, but I'd like your input. That'd be nice. So I'm sure you'll all agree. Frog it back. I'm great at frogging. I'm like the queen of frogging. I always do it. It doesn't bother me one bit. I'd rather it be right and me be able to use something that I've made and feel happier with it than it just end up in a drawer somewhere. So I'm going to, I think I am, I'll take this off and I'll work a few more rows because you're doing top down. So I can go, you know, I can just keep going for a little bit until I feel happier with it. I knew I should have, when I'd finished, because I went off how many rows MJ said to do on the pattern, and there was a little voice in my head saying, well, Steph, you're using chunky, you're not using Aran, so maybe you need to do a few more rows, which I did, to be fair. I think I put an extra 3 or 4 rows in, and all the time I'm trying it on my head like you do, and when it got to the point where it was just meeting in the middle, I thought, right, stop, because a hat, I mean, it stretches, doesn't it? So I didn't want it to be too big, because I mean, you can see that there, it's stretching out quite nicely anyway. So yeah, I don't know. Do you know what? I'm just thinking, I can't make that longer because it was in rows and it was flat, wasn't it? Oh, what a doofus. Just realised. Oh, no. No, I'm going to have to start completely from the beginning because it's worked flat. It's the length I'm after. So the actual beginning, the cast on of the chains needs to be longer. How long did that take me for that light bulb moment to come on? I bet you were all saying, what are you talking about? You can't add any on. Oh. Right. What do you think? I have bought a couple more hat patterns actually. I think I might frog it, just undo the whole thing because it's a hat and they don't take long, do they? I might undo the whole thing and start again. Oh, I've just spent 10 minutes waffling about that, sorry. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to start again. Yeah, I have bought a couple more patterns. One from Ruby Webb's Crochet and the other one I can't remember. I'll have to put it on screen. So I might use one of those patterns. Or I can just start again with this one. Now I'm being really indecisive. Right, I'll think about that. And I'll probably just undo it because, like I say, I've got time. I've got time to before we go to Scotland. Oh, sounds so dim now I've just said that to you all. Right, moving swiftly on. Pretend that last 10 minutes didn't exist because unfortunately I'm not editing it out. So we've got the 2 blankets I've been working on, which are, hopefully this one will make a bit more sense and be a bit more straightforward for you all, is the Sholach blanket by Abby from Get Your Hook On. I talked about her in the last video. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, I've posted my progress update on there. I took a picture of it with my feet in the shot so that you could see how big it was, because I think, to be honest, I'm not going to be able to hold it up and you see everything on camera, so I'll just show you part of it. And if I remember, I'll pop the Instagram picture in here so that you can see. So this was, it's overlay MOSAIC crochet, in case you've not watched my previous videos. It's a really easy stitch to get your head around. You're basically working from right to left on a chart, and then you fasten off, and then you start again, right to left, and so on and so on. It's, for me, I've just clicked with it. I find it really easy to work on in the evenings whilst we're watching Netflix or something, or catching up on Ben Fogle, New Lives in the Wild. You watch that? It's really, really good. So I find it really easy to just work on it then. So I will try my best. It's quite heavy now because it's Aran weight. This is there's 6 charts, so 6 parts of the pattern, and then you start again. So I'm on pattern 1 now, chart 1 again. So you've got, can you see? I'm hoping it's picking up the lovely colours of the yarn, because when I posted it on Instagram, it wasn't showing the colours at all. It looked really dark, but I was doing it in the evening, to be fair, but I just wanted to show everybody how I was getting on. So I'll just stand up. So there we go. Ooh, I'm at the bottom almost. There's the bottom, you see. And then all these tassels here are the ends that you have on either side of the blanket. Now the pattern shows you at the end a border that you can do, so that you don't have to sew in any of your ends. You can just put them all into a nice like an envelope type thing. You can put them all in. But I think I've mentioned it before, I mentioned it last video, I like these. I quite like tassels. So what I'm going to do, and it's not a get out, because I don't mind sewing in ends. I think I'm a minority there, going off lots of my Insta friends. But I'm going to shorten them, obviously, because they're a bit too long. Shorten them, and then I'm just going to add more ends in. Does that make sense? So I'm going to put more tassels in each stitch of the same colour, and then that will thicken these edges up, and it'll look like I've meant to put tassels in. But I'm really pleased with it. Excuse me. I love the colour. It's, oh, I just love it. It's really, really nice. Somebody reached out to me on Instagram the other day. I can't remember her name now. And she said, oh, I've bought the pattern and the yarn, but I'm a bit scared to start it. And really, if you watch these videos, I don't know whether you do, but honestly, just give it a go. Just start. If you're worried about doing overlay, mosaic crochet, Abby does have a couple of a few YouTube videos that you could have a look at, or just type in overlay mosaic crochet on YouTube, and there's loads of tutorials that come up if you need to get your head around the chart. But it looks far more complicated than it is. And as I've said before, if I can do it, anybody can. But yeah, I'm really, really, really enjoying it. Yeah, I'll show you the yarn just in case you've forgotten what it is. Now it's King Cole Riot, it's called, in Foliage. That's the colourway, and it's shade 1689. It's a DK weight. Now the base colour, I'm using Stylecraft Special Aran. So with this being a DK weight, I am holding 2 strands together. So what I'm doing to make it easy for me is I'm rolling them into balls before I start. So there's the 2 strands there, as you can see, and then I can just hold it properly. But yeah, I could have picked an Aran weight yarn, like a jewel spun, or what I'm using for the Cove blanket, but I hadn't tried this yarn before, and I just loved the colours, and I just thought it would go very well with the pattern because it was trees and lots of different designs. So I just thought it looked nice. It's a nice kind of tree colour. So yeah, I'm working away on it. It is getting quite big now, and I think, to be honest, I think once I get to the end of chart 6 again, so I'll have done 12 patterns altogether, I think that would be big enough, because if you think about it, that's the width now, and I've just started up here. This little tiny bit here is the beginning of pattern 1. So if you think that's the width and then think of that again, that's definitely going to be big enough, isn't it, for a blanket? So yeah, that's that. Very pleased with it, very pleased, and I think I will probably make more. Oh, and I think I mentioned last time, Abby has a couple of free patterns on her website. I'm doing hopefully not as many as last time. Did it again. She's got a couple of free patterns. One of them is a cabin. Now I thought, oh, I might put a row of cabins in. I still might. I'm thinking about it, just to break it up a little bit. And there is another one that has a stag on it, and I love that. And of course it's very Scottish, and that's just, you know, we love Scotland. Done an yeah, really pleased with that. Whoops, I'm dropping everything off the table. Let me know what you're working on as well. It'd be nice to find out what you're all doing. I like to read the comments and always reply. Next thing, I have started something new. Surprise, surprise. Now this is, I'll just reach for it because I can't get it. I saw this on Carol's Instagram. She's Nana C Makes on Instagram. Very active on there. She makes some beautiful things, and she's so inspiring. Whenever I lose my crojo a little bit, I always have a look at Carol's Instagram feed because it's just so lovely. And the colours that she uses, mainly blues and things like that, and it's just right up my street. And she knits as well. She started knitting. She's just so good, and all her photographs are lovely. She has a motorhome like we do, and yeah, she always takes pictures of that. And she's got a dog called Gus who's very photogenic. He loves having his photo taken. So check Carol's Instagram out. Now this, she's made a few of these. This is a paid for pattern, so I need to be careful here. I need to just cover it up, the bottom bit. It's a Harmony of Leaves, it's called. Don't think you can see anything there. Harmony of Leaves by Woolly Chic. Some of the scarves that Carol's made are just beautiful. Now it's in, I can tell you a little bit obviously. The recommended yarn, she recommends a 4-ply yarn and a 4.5mm crochet hook. Now when I decided to start it, I thought, oh, I know exactly the 4-ply that I've got. I've had it for about 2 years. I bought it from Sherry Iris. She's on Instagram and she does podcasts, and she has a hand-dyed business. Offers subscriptions and lots of lovely things. And I'd bought a 100-gram skein of 4-ply yarn off her in blues and creams, and I've left it downstairs, just realised. Anyway, doesn't matter. So I thought I'll do it in that because it's not going to be too hot. It will have a lovely drape to it because it's 4-ply, and then, you know, that it will look like that or something similar. So I bought the pattern, and she's called Helen Ingram from Woolly Chic Designs. So I bought the pattern and I wound the skein, because it was in a, you know, how it comes in like a big plait. So I spent a good 15 minutes winding it up into a ball. And then I started, and I thought, this is good. Started the pattern, and then, because it was a 4.5mm needle, hook, sorry, 4.5mm hook and 4-ply yarn, you know what I'm going to say, I couldn't get on with it at all. It probably didn't help that I was sat in front of the TV at the time, trying to work it out and trying to deal with quite a large hook for such a small gauge yarn. So I started, and then I thought, I don't know what's happening. And I couldn't work out her style of pattern writing. And I did the first couple of rows, and I just thought, it doesn't look like anything. I can't fathom it out at all. And I reached out to Carol on Instagram, and I said, I think I'm going to have to speak to the designer, because I can't work out her style of pattern writing. And I know all designers are different, and obviously you get used to certain designers, the way they write patterns, and you get comfortable with them. And I was getting really frustrated. So I must have spent, I don't know, probably half an hour even, working on it, and then realised that there was no pattern. It wasn't forming a pattern, which is what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to form falling leaves, and mine didn't look like that at all. So I undid it all, sulked a bit, put it away, and thought, I can't be that stupid, really. Why am I not being able to work out this pattern? So before I reached out to the designer, I thought, I know, I'm going to try the pattern in DK yarn with a sensible size hook and see if I can just work it out on my own. Because what it was, because it's 4-ply, I don't know whether any of you have used 4-ply before. I'm not experienced at using 4-ply at all. I don't knit socks or anything like that. I'm usually DK or Aran. So I'm used to having that thickness of yarn to work with. I got a DK weight out. This yarn I can't find the band for. Now I think, if memory serves, it's Stylecraft Bambino, and I got it in a cushion kit one year from Yarndale, which I haven't used. I haven't made up into a cushion, and I've just put it in my stash. It's very, very soft. I love the colour, absolutely love this colour. So I thought I'll start it in this and see how I get on. Away from the TV, I'll sit down, I'll read the pattern properly, because it's not even, it's literally made up of, I mean obviously I can't show you, but it's made up of 5 rows. That's the pattern. And then you repeat pattern 2 to 5 until you run out of yarn. It's really simple, but at the time when I was trying to get my head around how she writes her patterns, I couldn't work it out at all. So I started again, and now I get it. So Carol, if you're watching this, I get it now. I get the pattern, and I understand why you say it's good car crochet or holiday crochet, because once you've got it, it's showing up on here. You can see the leaves. Whoops, if I fold it in half so it's easier to... Oh no, you can't see the leaves now. Can you see them? They're like, let me put my hand there. There's the leaves. And it's such a lovely pattern. And you can understand why she says you could use 4-ply, because the drape, there's not so much a drape on it at the minute, but I'm sure as I go along, you know, it will start to feel, and because there's a lot of gaps in it. Can you see? Oh, there you go. That's better. It will be quite lightweight anyway, and I don't think it will be as warm as the other scarf I've shown you. Now, with the pattern it says 100 gram skein with 4-ply, or if you're using DK it's 150. Now obviously I've only got 100 gram ball, so I thought I would use good old parchment in DK just to break it up a bit, which is what this bit is. So I am going to do obviously the majority of it in this colour because I love it so much, but I'm just going to pop 3 rows in occasionally just to give it that extra length that I need. I'm really enjoying it now. Now I know what I'm doing, and I probably will go back and use that 4-ply yarn now I know how the pattern works. It was just, all it was, there's nothing wrong with the pattern at all. It was my brain at the time. I'd worked all day, I'd sat down with it in the evening, and I just thought, I can't work out what she's saying, what she's trying to tell me. And as I say, it's not her style of pattern writing, it's just getting used to a different designer and the way they see, you know, the way they write their patterns out, that's all. So hopefully next time I come on this will be done and I'll be able to show it you. But yeah, it's definitely worth giving it a go, because you can use 4-ply yarn as well. It would look lovely as a nice spring scarf, I think, which was the plan for this. Or even I think you could make one for a gift for somebody. It'd be nice for if you were going out somewhere at a wedding even. You know, you could do it in a lovely plain colour. But yeah, so I'm really happy with it now, thankfully. I'm just going to have a quick sip, sorry. So I think we're getting towards the end. We're at the last, I've got something in my eye. Last project, next to the last project. This is the Cove blanket in my lovely bag that I've had for years. I think I bought this from Yarndale about 4 years ago. Can't even remember where I bought it, what stall I bought it off, but what does it say on there? Earth, oh it says Earth Positive, I don't think that's the name of the company, but it's a very big bag anyway. So I really like it. So this is the Cove. If you were watching, or if you've watched my previous video, this is the Cove, I'll remind you, by Shelley Husband, and I bought the book with some birthday money and couldn't wait to get it started. So I am using jewel spun Aran. Here it is. Can't remember the colourway, and the band's probably not in my bag. If I remember I'll put it on screen, but I did mention it in my last video, so I'm sure you'll all remember that. Now I started off with the jewel spun, which was this in the middle, and then I used cream WI Aran, and then I went back to the jewel spun. Now I started to not fall out of love with it. That's probably the wrong thing to say, because it's a brand new design of Shelley's, and I love all of Shelley's patterns, as you know. I'm really a fan, to say the least. But I thought it was just going a bit too dark for me. And you know what I'm going to say? I then thought, ooh, I've got my good old soft and smooth tweed Aran from Hobbycraft. WI yarn it is. I've got a fluff on my nose. I'm going to use some of this. I used this for the last very large blanket I made, the Nimue blanket that Davina from Little Workroom Crafts. Hi Davina. She has started the Nimue blanket, so I'll leave a link to her channel below. I love this. I love this yarn. It's so soft and it's so lovely to work with. I really do like it. And I'm not sure whether I mentioned last time, as much as I love this jewel spun and I love all the different colours that it's making, you see, I'll hold it up and be a bit still. Yeah, it's doing all its own thing with the colours, which is lovely. I'm pleased with it. I like the way it's working up now. But I just felt it needed a little bit of a break up in colour. So I thought I'll use this because it's got a bit of a fleck in it. It is a bit covey, a bit beachy, rather than it being a solid colour. And I think it's worked out okay. So I did just a few rounds in that colour just to test it. Went back to the jewel spun and then finished it off with the tweed Aran. I finished I'm on wicker work. I'm on rounds 36 to 54. So far I have worked 31 rounds. Yeah, in seashells, reef ripples and coastal sunrise. Sadly I can't show you because obviously it's a paid for pattern, but I'm on wicker work now, so I've got 36 to 54 rounds to do. So again, that's going to be quite big when I next show you, but so far it's looking really nice. I think I'm pleased with it, and I think now that I've got my favourite yarn in, I'm enjoying it even more. See, it's looking quite dark there. It's probably, oh, if I hold it up nearer actually, oh that's better. Can you see the colours? It is a little bit brighter than what it's coming out as. It's showing up quite dark, but it is quite bright. But there are different colourways in the jewel spun, aren't there? There's a bluer colourway which I'm kind of regretting not getting now. I did look at I can't remember the name of it. It had like blues in and turquoise, and that would be something that I would normally go for rather than this colour, and I don't know why I chose that. My battery's going to start running out, I think. I can see it. If it runs out, I'll just put a new one in. I've got plenty. Yeah, so I'm kind of regretting not getting the blue colourway, but it doesn't matter because I like this anyway. I am enjoying it, and now that, as I say, now I've got my favourite yarn, I'm even happier. I'm just going to change the battery. Oops. Okay, I'm back. Changed my battery. This is the last one as well. I've obviously talked too long because normally a battery would last I hope you've managed to get some projects done. So the last thing, I'm still on the Cove blanket, and I'm going to show you this beautiful picture now. Can you see? Yeah, you can. That's the Cove done in obviously a solid colour, in cream. And at the very end, once you've made, obviously because it's like in a big square, isn't it? And well, it's squaring off now, the pattern. She has small squares, well they're not that small actually, to go on to attach to the big square. So it's like it borders, I think it's called the scenic route, she's named it. So it's a series of squares. Yeah, it's called the scenic route. Has to show you to take the longer path. There are 4 different small squares to make. So there's sunset shells, fans and ripples, and wicker squares. So they are made up of the main body of the pattern, they're just in smaller squares. So I thought what I would do, if, you know, I just wanted to make, to work on something smaller, I would start the squares, the small squares. So I'm starting, and I don't know how I'm going to do this without showing you the pattern. See if I can do that. Oops. Oh, no, because I can see all that. I'm trying to show you the picture. Not working, is it? Can you see that little square there? That's called, I don't know how well that was shown. That's called sunset shells. So that's what I'm doing first, the square. It's made up of 14 rounds. So it'll be quite a good size, quite a decent size. And of course, I'm using WI, soft and smooth Aran tweed. You can't really see the design that well on this, to be honest, because it's got a fleck in it, but it's working up quite well. You probably can't see, it's such a shame. Such a shame that you can't see the, but it is literally, it's the middle of the main pattern. It's the first 6 rows of that, you know, the yellow bit in the middle that looks like a sun. So that's what that is. I've decided to do all of the squares in this colour because I think it'll look nice, and because it's so soft. I'm sure the jewel spun Aran, did I talk about that before, or did I go off on a tangent? I might have gone off on a bit of a tangent because I was talking about the WI yarn, because it's so soft, that one, and the jewel spun is a little bit, it feels a bit coarser on my fingers. I think that's why I was panicking a bit, thinking, oh, I don't want it to feel like rough, the blanket or anything, which is why I went back to the good old Hobbycraft yarn. I'm sure once I wash it, it will start to soften up a little bit, because sometimes you get that with Stylecraft, don't you? Stylecraft DK, even though that's really soft, once you wash whatever it is you've made, it's even softer. That's what I'm hoping will happen with this. On that note, I think I've finished, and I think I've waffled on long enough. I'm sorry if any of you have fallen asleep, but, you know, hey ho. I just thought I'd pop on. I'm hoping by, well, it'll be next month now, it'll be March when I come on again. I am trying to get to where I can do 2 videos a month, but at the moment we've got a lot going on at home. We've got our youngest son, Tom, is about to go off to join, to begin his military career. So we're taking him up to Catterick in Yorkshire a week tomorrow, the 25th. So we've got all that going on, and we've got, you know, our other two lads, John and Dan. They're older. They come up on usually on a Sunday, and to have a family meal with Karen and Mel, their girlfriends, and Chris's dad, Jim. We all tend to have a family get together. We're doing that tomorrow because it will be Tom's last Sunday here for a while. He is coming home after a few weeks, but he'll have 6 months of training, so yeah, it's going to be a big change. But as I say, once everything's settled down, I'm hoping that I can get at least 2 videos a month up, if any of you are interested. I hope you're all well anyway, and I'll see you all next time.